What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure, like and sub, and let's get into this. That Endymion Insider interview that he had with whoever this dev was at Ubisoft is bearing all the fruits because this and WDW Pro have basically been the news cycle, certainly for that part place. We had heard about 6 months ago the rough outlines of what Assassin's Creed was going to do with Shadows before they switched to Yasuke. And we heard that, yes, indeed, there was a Japanese protagonist. He was going to be some form of monk. Hattori Hanzo was involved. The Sword of Eden was involved. Well, now Endymion's source has given him the goods on that, corroborating what we heard 6 months ago and going into way more detail. So strap in. Here is the original story of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Before, as we found out in 2020, the Japanese male main protagonist was swapped out because of socio-political events in America, and of course, heavily influenced by George Floyd, BLM, those riots, the Summer of Love, Black Lives Matter, all that stuff. Originally, like he said, and even though he has a certain show media trying to say that no, that wasn't the case, multiple now people in the know have come out and said it. So this is Endymion's contact saying, I was contacted by someone who worked on the original version of Assassin's Creed Shadows, and they laid out to me what the story was before it was eventually scrapped by Ubisoft for the Yasuke story, or Yasuke. Originally, the plot of Shadows was supposed to surround a piece, and as you'll see going through this, the more we talk about it, the more it actually sounds like an Assassin's Creed game, besides whatever the hell they're doing now. So it was supposed to surround a piece of Eden, like the other games, called the Sword of Eden, which we've seen multiple times, Excalibur, etc., etc. It was an Isu artifact like the apple or the staff in Odyssey, but this sword would corrupt its wielders with power and then give dominion over others. And of course, we've seen in the past games, anyone that has the Isu gene is able to activate this technology to some degree or another, and then depending on strength of will and purity of the gene, they can control it and or be corrupted by it. That's much what we're seeing here. The hero of the story was named Taka Taka Yamuchi, who was a Shinto monk. Taka was decided to be a follower of Shintoism because it was a unique religion within Japan at the time, which would give Taka an interesting viewpoint of the world around him. And it's very interesting because we hear that, oh, we picked Yasuke because he just coincidentally is a point of view character that was an outsider and would have a very different viewpoint, which is exactly what we were going to get with Taka. This was chosen because the writers on Shadows wanted to give the audience a glimpse into a world that was foreign to many. And it was juxtaposed against the idea that this Shinto monk wanted nothing to do with the conflict or the wars that were being engulfed by nobles. So essentially, the hero was a badass nice guy who only wanted to garden all day and meditate. But of course, like any badass, the danger would find them eventually, and the story would have switched into high gear when Oda Nobunaga was killed, which, at least for Yasuke in his timeline of history, Oda Nobunaga being killed is basically the end of his story. He drops his sword, he goes back to the Jesuit missionaries, and bye-bye, Yasuke. So that's where the game would have really jumped off. You can see here, Taka Yamuchi, our hero, would be in a temple nearby when the fall of Oda Nobunaga happens. A fugitive would then come to Taka's temple from said battle and would reveal himself to be Hattori Hanzo. Remember Hattori Hanzo? Hattori Hanzo Steel. Kill Bill? Anyone? Obviously, he was a real historical figure, if not a bit of mythical legend added on. Who, if you didn't know, he was one of the legendary ninjas of that same time period in the real. He was an actual person that was instrumental to the legend that we know today of the Japanese shinobi. This already sounds awesome. Hattori Hanzo would be wounded upon meeting Taka and would reveal that he would be in possession of the Sword of Eden, taken from the hands of Oda Nobunaga after his death by Akechi Mishudi and his band of murderous, power-hungry samurai brethren, which we would, of course, found out were the Templars, and Hattori Hanzo was an assassin. So the entirety of Japan was looking out for this shinobi man who, unbeknownst to Taka, was carrying the Sword of Eden that could change the fate of Japan depending on wield. it already sounds awesome. So now, of course, Taka would have to join the assassins. Taka would agree to treat Hanzo's wounds and would shelter his presence from the Templars and their assassins. Within this, the Templar, killers. Within this newfound trust, Hanzo would reveal to Taka that he belonged to a mysterious clan, unbeknownst to the outside world. And of course, they would be talking about the hidden ones because the assassins hadn't formally been introduced. They don't start calling themselves the assassins until times of the Crusades with Altair and his order there. Akechi and his men would also visit Taka's temple looking for information on Hattori Hanzo, but Taka would skillfully dissuade. Like, there's a whole thing here. Apparently, one of the big branching narratives was going to be Taka going against Toyotomi Hideyoshi. At some point in the story, it was told that Toyotomi Hideyoshi would come into possession of the Sword of Eden himself, and he would then use it to sway people of Japan to his side. And Taka, now a part of the Hidden Ones, would be waging a secret war against Toyotomi and Akechi in order to secure the sword and ensure Japan was freed of this Templar samurai rule. Apparently, Toyotomi would refer to himself as the Demon King of the Six Heavens and was obviously becoming corrupted by the Isu technology. God damn, this is fully done. Now, I understand that a lot of this was taken and put as background information for a game called, and I'll stop there because you get the idea. A lot of this was taken out, and before we get to that, Chris Fisk was one of the first people to talk about a lot of this. You can see here this is his Twitter, Infinite Tale Chronicles, for sale now on Amazon. But he worked on Assassin's Creed with Ubisoft, and he basically dropped a lot of this, pointing that this got rolled into Assassin's Creed Memories, which is a mobile game that I, who have played all the Assassin's Creed games, sure as hell did not play that one. I mean, even though I do have a phone. So this is Taka. This was going to be the main character before it was decided to switch to Yasuke and Naoe. And yeah, it looks like they rolled the rest of it into this game, Memories, as just background, and the full fleshed out game was then switched. And this is again talking about the previous contacts and how it is not Chris Fisk. Endymion's new contact is not that older one because different experiences. Endymion's contact was flown up to Japan, Chris wasn't, etc. But oh boy, what do you think about that? Would you rather have had that Shinto monk that works with Hattori Hanzo and fights the samurai corrupted by the Templars in a piece of Eden? Sounds a lot more like an Assassin's Creed game. Either way, we'll see what they do. They say Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out February 14th, 2024, or 2025 rather, next year. Press X to doubt, even though it's Black History Month, and it would be a little on the nose to release it and shield Yasuke of any wrongdoing, of course, because you can just blame everyone as racist. The other thing we're hearing is it's possible that they are going a little bit more towards the original storyline and trying to reduce Yasuke's dialogue and certainly removing the rap music associated with him in the game that was playing for no reason other than he's black. You guys like rap music, right? Yeah. So let me know what you think. But damn, does that original sound better? And what a disservice they have done to that story and the Japanese people. Sorry, your representation, your culture got co-opted, but well, first time. Anyway, make sure to like, share, and sub if you have done that. Thank you. If you're gonna do that, thank you.
Well, bye.